Merry Christmas, everybody. And as promised, we're going to debut our Christmas card. So let's get going. My name is Jonathan, and I'm a caregiver for my wife, Lynn, who has a permanent brain injury. Things are different now, but we're doing the best that we can. Join us as we experience the Lynn life. All right, well, I hoped it would be snowing. It was snowing very heavy earlier. The other day it was 60 degrees out. And right now it's kind of like raining. I think it's maybe turning into ice. That's not good. But I don't know if we're going to have a white Christmas or not. This is very unusual. The weather's been very, very unusual for us. But as I promised over the last couple of videos, we're going to debut our Christmas card and kind of give you a little backstory and tell you why we made it and how I made it. All right, back inside, out of the elements. I actually prefer it if it was snowing. Snow is not as wet. When it's cold and kind of a combination rain and sleet, that is really uncomfortable, and that's kind of what's going on outside right now. I'm hoping it doesn't get too bad because we want to go up to the Root Farm in about an hour and a half for a tree lighting ceremony, and I hope to bring you with me for a little bit of that. So we're inside. I'm in front of the computer where I can show you the new Christmas card and give you a little backstory on how I made it. For those of you not familiar with Photoshop, I've been using Photoshop for pretty much my whole career, which is over 35 years. So this is a piece of cake to me. I can knock this out in no time at all. But I'm going to show you where I got the idea of this particular card after I debut it. First of all, we want to show it to you. Our 2021 Christmas card. As you can see, it's silhouettes of ourselves. There's Justin and Lynn and myself. And we're looking at the like a Christmas star. And this is not the first time I've used something like this style. I've done it once before. But I thought that this year we needed to sort of reflect on who we've lost in the last year and a half. And especially, this is kind of been brought on most recently by the passing of Lynn's mother just before Thanksgiving. But it's not just for her. It's been this is devoted to everybody we have lost, friends and family. So it's a year for us to reflect on that. That's what I've decided this year is. So I've decided to use the silhouettes again. I've used that once before back in 2011 when Justin was in middle school. And I always liked it. I always liked this card. And of course it has Buddy in it, who has passed since. So this year's card, we can reflect on his passing as well. And I like doing it. It's not that difficult to do, and but this is how we did it. The first thing to do is set up a place in your home to take the pictures, and you could, if you're going to do a silhouette, use a white sheet and drape it any way you can, so that it gives you more of a contrast. Now I had I have a pop-up screen that is chroma key green that I use for keying. I use it professionally, something I can take easily to a shoot, and it's perfect for this. But it was green, it's not white, so I just draped a sheet over it, and we shot it in our kitchen. And I shoot everybody individually. So first I shot Justin, and I knew the order that everybody was going to be in. I knew where I'd already created the background, so I knew the star was going to be a little bit to the right. So Justin was going to be far left, so he'd have to be looking a little bit more to the right than the rest of us would. So I set him up that way. Then I shot myself, since I knew I was going to be the far right. I wouldn't have to be looking I could look kind of straight ahead. And I knew we were going to put Lynn in the center. She was the most challenging one to get her to sit still and kind of do what we wanted her to do. But she did it. She did very well. And we shot that. And then it was time to bring it into Photoshop and create each one as a silhouette. Now, because they were each shot individually, of course I had to do each one individually again. Notice I had Justin with his left arm on his hip and me with my right arm on my hip, because I knew where we were going to be placed, and I wanted things to be kind of symmetrical. Justin, of course, is a lot taller than Lynn or myself, so I had to take that into consideration. And I originally had a little more of a horizon in there and decided it was a little bit distracting, so I kind of airbrushed that out a little bit and then put in the graphic. So pretty simple, really. A pretty simple design, but powerful at the same time. Designs don't have to be complex to be good. They can be very simple. Actually, the best ones are simple. So that's what we stuck with. I get questions every year. What's your card going to be? And I have no idea. It's usually, it just has to happen. It's tough to figure out what kind of a card am I going to create that's going to reflect the year. And I don't know till the last minute, really. I didn't know until Lynn's mother passed that exactly what I was going to do. So that's when I made the decision, and that was it. What am I going to do for next year? Who knows? We got to see what next year brings. It seems that this coming year, it's possible at least through the winter, I think we're going to kind of stay inside. We're going to kind of hibernate a little bit with the increase in some coronavirus cases and whatnot. And there's a mandate here in New York. You have to wear a mask for inside every time you go inside a building. And I've known a number of people who've gotten the virus, and I just decided that we're going to kind of hunker down a bit and ride it out like we've done before. I'm hoping that in the spring things improve again, and then we can sort of like the woodchuck come out of our burrow, and hopefully we don't see our shadow when we do. So next, I think we're going to head up to the Root Farm for their tree lighting ceremony. Oh, and they have some new animals up there that we haven't seen yet, and I definitely want Lynn to see them. So let's get going. It was a wonderful event with a bounce house for kids in the riding arena, a choir up on stage, and lots of people for Lynn to socialize with. Lots of people that haven't seen her in a while. And Santa was up there too, and Lynn got to meet him. Funny story though, Alexis up at the Root Farm sent us this picture when she first met Santa, and he knew her name, and that kind of surprised her a little bit. And when he asked her what she wanted for Christmas, she said nothing. And I asked her about that, and she said, well, that really wasn't Santa, that was Steve. But we don't know a Steve, so I'm not sure who she was talking about. And she got to meet the new sheep up at the Root Farm. There's 3 new sheep up at the Root Farm, and they're very, very friendly, and they love to be petted, just like most of the animals up at the Root Farm. And we went to visit some of the other animals as well, including the horse she rides, Cruiser. I'm glad it was so well attended and that there were so many young kids up there. What a fun place to be. And then later in the evening, at the end, we had the tree lighting. So Merry Christmas, everybody, and we'll see you next time on the Lynn Life.